My precious Laura, my heart had nearly ceased its beating before you wandered so gracefully into my dull and awkward routine. I had read countless stories and even more poems about the power of love, but no word, no rhyme had prepared my soul for the tremor your presence set to rippling through my bones. My body ached, my mind ran in circles. For the first time in the billowing of a century, my lips proved incapable of uttering an intelligent thought. Alas, you were merciful and took me gently by the hand. And after days of torture, worried my affliction was not shared, you offered me a kiss that set my heart aloft. Your father, so kind to invite me into your home, was the first to stand between us. He could never understand the nature of a creature such as me. His plans for your future were material for a photograph. A husband, a wife, a half-dozen toddlers still clinging to your courageous womb. You wanted a life with me, so we made one and eloped. How I miss you, my love. Might these letters bring you back to me, if only in a whisper. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura, I still feel the warmth of your mischievous gaze each time I miss a button on my blouse or poorly straighten my collar. For 12 short years you were there every morn to ensure I looked my best. It was for you and you alone I reddened my lips with carmine. When one walks with a flower, it is best to stride and blossom. I stand firmly, even today, with all that has come to pass, on our decision not to turn you into a vampire. Though my powers are formidable, and I do not seem to age, a part of me does fade. I know now that it is the better part of me that withers. When you were there in my life, my heart and my humanity knew eternal spring. With you gone, the leaves have fallen, and the monster inside me demands its due. We had agreed that you would grow old, and how rich and comforting those years of bliss were to me. Then came the nightmares, and you watched the family and friends you held dear ripped to pieces and their homes ravaged. I must admit, I had forgotten the pang of pain of loss of kin. I had buried my family centuries ago with all their dreams and mine. Alas, I could never say no to you. And when you begged me to gift you with my affliction in order to help save those remaining, the monster inside me applauded. And the mortal shed a tear. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura, I had never turned another person before you, either willing or against their will. I was not even sure that I could. I am a daywalker, a vampire, a rare breed of monster that is made in their vampire mother's womb. I was born with this thirst for blood, and never knew the taste of a mother's milk. Your devastation was killing you. Your family castle burned. All those that had raised you, nearly dead or worse. And so I let you drink my blood and turned you into a monster. At first it seemed a good decision. The Ravenswatch accepted us both into their fold, and quickly we became a pair of murdering Amazons no other guardian could rival. We avenged your family and drained the blood from both monsters and nightmares. How splendidly you stalked, how deadly you became. Even when we realized that you could no longer support daylight, it did not diminish our affection. We hunted by night and slept by day in your family's castle vault, the final occupants of your childhood home. I like to think we could have lived centuries in that manner, if we had not crossed paths with old Geppetto, the tinkerer mourning his ravaged son. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura, when you discovered the old tinkerer squeezing the body of his boy in some futile hope that he could bring him back to life, a rage grew inside you only power could quell. You craved faculties only human blood could give you. I did not fathom the depth of the wound inside you. I thought your tears for the little boy would dry. Lacerations can heal, punctures are prone to fester. A needle was lodged within your heart. You began to disappear at night on longer hunts than was our custom. I could smell the sweetness of human ichor behind your ears and beneath your nails. Your temper grew shorter than candles before the dawn. I worried, I warned. Blood is a drug, when abused, a thirst unquenchable. The pain within your heart had made you deaf to my pleas. The rush of power did the rest. And then one day you were gone. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura. I searched for days with the watch, all of our secret hiding places, and nights our favorite hunting grounds. You were nowhere to be found. Thrice I found the remains of your prey. Your powers had become even more terrifying than my own. Bodies cleaved into several parts, throats ripped from ear to ear, heads found 12 feet from their bodies with expressions fixed in final terror. The devastation was so complete and the victims so many that I could no longer separate the guilty from the innocent. Then one night I caught your scent, and we tracked you to a mossy clearing in the heart of an ebony wood. You had found a new Pygmalion, the witch Baba Yaga, and she had applauded your transformation. Beowulf rushed headlong into the trap and fell to your claws. Soon bounced through 2 nightmares and was brought down by a third. I stood motionless in the onslaught. I could not believe you would attack your own. If it were not for the Snow Queen's eyes to defend our retreat and rescue from the ravens, we would have died. Now I knew you were truly lost, and I had not the slightest clue on how to find you. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura. Our friends of the watch left me alone to mourn your betrayal, though I know they shared my pain. I was inconsolable for weeks, wishing I had the disposition to take my own life. An easier, darker path began to tease my mind. I could simply join you and the witch, abandoning my human nature to become a horror alongside the woman I loved. And so I began to send you letters, asking for you to come and meet me when the moon was at its fullest and the sun its farthest from the dusk and dawn. You joined me in all your splendor, with eyes aglow and hunger in your bosom. We kissed. I like to think that I saw a last glimmer of your human soul as I drove the wooden stake deep into your heart. The tears in my eyes were playing tricks on my vision. 1,000 moments of joy and happiness passed before me as your light went out. I buried you in your family vault alongside the tombs of those who had raised you. I wept upon your grave, filled with the pain one can only know when one has truly loved. Wherever you had gone, I would soon join you. I set off to kill the witch. Your eternal love, Carmilla. My precious Laura, defeating Baba Yaga failed to dampen the pain of your loss. If anything, it only made me understand how terribly I had failed you. My desire to please you occulted my judgment. I knew better than to turn a soul as pure as yours to the dark path. The witch was only following her chaotic nature. She had abandoned her humanity long ago. I was still half human. I should have protected you from the thirst. I was about to say as much to you as I visited your grave, only to find the tomb empty. Your body was gone, without a trace, all save for the stake I had driven through your heart. It sat on a vigil stand with candles still burning. Hope for my future was rekindled in those tiny flames. And so I write to you these letters and leave them in your coffin, dreaming that one day you might read them. There is another, more selfish reason I write them. For as long as there is a chance you are still alive, I breathe more warmly. Each word I write chases a little farther from my heart, the monster within me. It is the memory of you that makes me want to carry on. It is the memory of you that keeps me human. Your eternal love, Carmilla.